Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello students, today myself Dr. Farid Khoja, I will be delivering a lecture on economic environment of business. In today's session, the following will be the minimum learning outcomes. At the end of the session, we will be able to understand the business environment. What is business environment? What are the internal and external factors of the business environment which affects the business? We'll be also able to understand the types of business environment, economic environment, and the factors which are responsible as a part of an economic environment which affects the business. The first word which comes in today's presentation is business. We know if I want to purchase anything, if I want to purchase an automobile car, it takes various activities like producing car, purchasing of the raw material, the production, from production to distribution, its reach to my place, the selling, advertisement, all such activities are a part of business, are business. So what precisely defines the business? What is business? Business, I think the very first word comes to our mind, any economic activity which is being done with an expectation of reward or with an expectation of profit. It's defined as is nothing more than a person or a group of persons properly organized to distribute goods or services. The study of business is the activities involved in the production or distribution of goods and services. I would like to pause on this line. It's the activities in the production of the goods and services, that is buying, selling, financing, personaling, etc. So it's right production to distribution, all those activities which are involving the production of and distribution. Now there comes a question, if I cook at my home, the production takes place, I produce, is it a business? But no, it is not a business. But if I cook at a dhaba, I will earn something from it, that's a business. So the definition is more precisely will be cleared when we study the Aswathapa. He defined business as a complex field of commerce and industry in which goods and services are created and distributed. Goods and services are created and distributed in the hope of profit, okay, within a framework of law and regulations. I think this will be more further cleared when we will be studying the part of a business environment. At last we have defined in business, it's an economic activity or any activity which is being done with an expectation of profit. Now when we were studying this definition, some words occurred, commerce, industry. So prior moving to the environment section, I would like to distinguish with you trade versus business. Various times we come across this word trade and business and we are confused whether trade is business or business is trade. This is a distinction. Trade is simply purchase and sale of goods and services. The goods and services are being purchased and sold. Like most of the time we use the word in the same market, we use the word trading of the share takes place. Yes, over there it's only purchase and sell. When we speak of a business, it's all those activities from production to distribution is said to be a business. So we made the distinction between trade and business. Another distinction we should make of industry versus commerce. Now this word also various times we will come across, and while we will be moving this session we will come across this word of industry and commerce. Business is basically consisting two words, industry and commerce. When you speak of an industry, it is an undertaking of the business where growing, manufacturing, extracting, of any of the production activities which are taking place are considered in the industry. Like as for example, we have in various industries we come across. Agriculture is an industry. We speak of goods. When we speak of goods, it's being classified. Consumer goods, industry for consumer goods, the goods which are consumed directly. Producer goods. Even there are some goods which are intermediary goods. As for example, you can take up of the metallurgy process, the metals which being extracted. It's an industry. Metallurgy is an industry. The metal which is extracted is a raw material for further production. So such intermediary goods industry also exists. So industry in short is growing, extracting, manufacturing, or construction is called as an industry. Then commerce. The commerce is an undertaking, business undertaking, which is concerned with exchange of buying and selling of the goods and services, or with that activities which are incidental to trade, like transport, warehousing, banking, insurance, advertising, all are commercial enterprises or commercial activities. We have tried to understand business. We cleared some conceptually the business. We cleared the concept business, trade and industry. Now, any a time when the business is there, business leads to the growth of the society, and business is in the country, is responsible for the growth of the country, economic growth of the country. So there are some basic goals of the business. The first goal, I think, while we were defining the word business, we have come across that goal. The goal is profit. Any business or any activity is being done, economic activity is done, the bottom line is profit. Until and unless there is no profit, the businessman will not try to continue with that activity. So the primary goal of a business is profit. Second one is growth. Yes, the businesses have to grow. You don't have to remain stagnant. Growth, you have to think of expanding your business. As it is rightly said by Theodore, that today's growth is tomorrow's earthen pot. That is, the businesses have to think of diversification, has to think of its growth strategies, has to think how to expand itself. So that also is a goal of a business. Yeah, market leadership. Yeah, any business is, when it's existing in the market, it thinks of a market leadership, the power. It should have a power. It should control the market. And we have various examples when we speak of some Tata, Birlas. They expand the business, and with an expansion there is an intention behind, that is of market leadership, that they should lead the market. The second one, when we speak of the goal, it's customer satisfaction. Yes, the business is solely for the customer. Anything is being produced or distributed is for the customer. Until and unless the customer is not satisfied, business will not prosper. Next is employee satisfaction. Yeah, in the business, the people are involved. It is said, a great Chinese proverb is there, that if you want to plan for a year, plant a cone. If you are planning for 30 years, plant a tree. But if you plan for 100 years, plant a man. That is human being. You have to think of the employees. Until and unless the employees are not satisfied with your business, they will not produce that product, and this will not increase your productivity. So employee satisfaction is also the goal of the business. Another goal is quality of products and services. The business totally depends on the products and services, the quality. Once you don't provide the quality products, I think you will be in the short run, your business will vanish. If you want to sustain yourself in the long run, the quality products and services are must. And the last is service to the society. When you say that business, its prime goal is profit, understood, but if any business is there, it will be a part of the society and it will serve to the society, service to the society. We have some concepts which we study in the commerce, corporate social responsibilities and those concepts. Or even if we say that if any college starts up in any region, it's a self-finance college. It's one type of an business, service business, but it helps the region's education development. It brings some programs, some educational programs which will be helpful to the local society over there. So that can be the goal of the business. So we studied about the business, we studied about some of the concepts of the trade and industry and the goals of the business. Now we move further to our topic. What is business environment? Business environment, I think we break down the two words, we'll get two words. One is business, we defined earlier in our definition. It's a complex field of commerce and industry in which the goods and services are created and distributed in the hope of profit within the framework of laws and regulation. This word I am highlighting, within the framework of laws and regulation. And the word environment, we know it's a word, Greek word, derived from the Greek word environ, which means surrounding. I think the definition of the business leads to the surrounding. What we defined in the business definition, that is any goods and services which are produced and distributed within the framework of laws and regulation. So I think this will lead to our definition of business environment. So what do you mean by business environment? The business environment is the aggregate of all those conditions, as I said in the definition earlier. It's the within the framework of laws and regulation. That means a business is operating and the environment which surrounds the business is all those conditions, events and influences that surround it and affect it. Some of the factors or some of the variables can be in the control of the business, can be controlled, and some cannot. So a very precise definition is given by the Richmond. Environment consists of factors that are largely, if not totally, external and beyond the control of individual industrial enterprise and their management. They are essentially the givers within which the firms and their management must operate in a specific country, and they vary often greatly from country to country. So I think it defines us that business environment means all those factors which are responsible for the business, which affects the business directly. We are in economics, we come across some of the words, economies and diseconomies of the scale. That is, those all factors are the part of a business environment. When we speak of a business environment, we should firstly understand the characteristics of the business environment, as the business environment is complex, because the business exists in such an environment in which some of the factors are uncontrollable, some of the factors are controllable, some, like as for example, we can take that then when we are trying to develop a business, some problems of pollutions come across. So that makes the environment complex for a business houses to operate. Another thing, the business is run by the people, and I would like to say that it's of the people, by the people and for the people. Yes, because business is done by the people, and for whom? It's for the customers, for the people, and by who does it or who does the production is the people. So people keep on changing, the demands change. So we can say that the business environment is also dynamic. It has to keep on changing. It's multifaceted and far-reaching impact it has on the businesses. So firstly, I would sum up that the business environment is those old factors which affects the business. Now when we are saying business environment, at least we should make clear why do we study the business environment. In this session, why prior to economic environment we are studying business environment, because most of the broad strategies of the businesses are developed based on the environmental study, based on the business environment study. We have environmental study being done to develop the broader strategies of the business. Second, to foresee the impact of socio-economic conditions of the business, analysis of the competitors and the formulations of the strategy, and to keep oneself dynamic. So for this reason, we study the business environment. We study business environment to keep ourselves dynamic. We study business environment as in business houses. We should know what are the competitors and what are the best strategies. So in taking any of the business decision or in any of the business development, I require the study of the business environment. Now we move to business environment. While defining the definition of the business environment, we came across some factors which are controllable and some are not controllable. So it's being broadly classified into two: internal environment and external environment. When you speak of an internal environment, it are those environmental factors which are under the control of business, and when you say external environment, which are not under the control businesses. And internal environment, you can say it's an enacted environment, that is, the environment can be created by the businesses itself. It's an environment which is in their control. When we speak of an external environment, there are being another classification: micro and macro environmental factors, and consisting of economic and non-economic environment. Internal environment, it refers to all those factors that are within the organization and which impact or strength or cause the weaknesses of the strategic nature of the businesses. That is, those all controllable factors which include the value system of the business. What the value system the business has decided for itself. What's the business mission and vision. We come across these words vision and mission. Vision is a broader objective of a business. What I, as a business, where I want to see my business is my vision, and the mission is my strategic steps which I would like to take to achieve that vision is my mission. And the next part is an objectives of my business. For what I am doing the business, what are my objectives? So these primary objectives